They say time heals everything, but there are places where time simply dies. My grandfather used to collect clocks, pocket watches, wall clocks, pendulums, even hourglasses. He had them all. His house was like a museum, but quieter, tenser. Every room marked a different time, and none of the clocks matched. I once asked him why he never fixed them, and he just smiled with that sunken old mouth and said, "Because that's how I hear them die." I was 8. I laughed. I thought it was just one of his weird sayings, like when he talked to the cats or claimed the moon whispered secrets to him. And then he died. My mom inherited the house, but she never wanted to live there. She asked me to go check it out, grab anything valuable, lock it up, and put it up for sale. I was in my 20s by then. I took it as a kind of adventure. I hadn't been back since I was a kid. I remember the air smelled the same, like old wood, humidity, and that ticking sound that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere all at once. It was like the house was alive. I walked through the dusty hallways. The clock still hung on the walls. All stopped. Some said 3:17, others 11:46. Sometimes didn't even look real, but all of them were dead. Or so I thought. I spent the first night in the house, maybe out of nostalgia or curiosity. I settled into my grandfather's old leather chair, the one that creaked like it was protesting. The silence was thick. There was no power, but I had a flashlight. I was reading one of his books when I heard it. Tick. It wasn't a digital sound. Not my phone. A tick, sharp metallic. I pointed my flashlight around the room, and there it was, the old grandfather clock in the dining room, the one that hadn't worked in years. It had started moving. On its own. I got closer. The pendulum was swinging, slowly but steadily. The clock showed exactly 12 o'clock. Not a minute more. Not a minute less. I felt cold. Not from the house, but from something crawling up my spine. I told myself I was just imagining things. I closed the glass door of the clock. Tried to ignore it. Then the first chime rang out. Dong. I jumped. Dong. Dong. It didn't stop. And it wasn't 12. It chimed 17 times. I counted. When the last one echoed, every clock in the house suddenly started ticking in unison. All of them. Every room. The sound of ticking flooded the air like a wave crashing down. I covered my ears, screamed, but couldn't even hear my own voice. Then it all stopped. Complete silence. The clocks were dead again. I ran out of the house. Left everything, my flashlight, the keys, slept in my car. The next morning, when I went back in, it was like nothing had happened. The clocks were all still. None of them said 12:17. In fact, one of them said 3:17. The exact time my grandfather died. I kept going back. Night after night. The same thing happened. At exactly 12:17 a.m., the pendulum clock would start, chime 17 times, and all the clocks would awaken for just under a minute. Then nothing, as if they came back just to remind me of something. One day, I went into the basement. I hadn't been down there since I was a kid. Under a tarp, I found a wooden box with a rusted lock. I pried it open, and inside was something I didn't expect. Broken clocks, dozens, some burned, others stained with dry blood, some of their hands ripped off. Each one had a date engraved on it. Not a time, a date. I started writing the dates down. Then I searched them online. Some matched real death dates in the town. A fire in 1984, a train accident, a mass suicide. One of the dates was the day I was born. Another, the day my grandfather died. And the last one was August 18th, 2025. Tomorrow. I left the house with my heart pounding like it was going to explode. I ran, cried, laughed like a madman. I called my mom. I told her everything. She said I was obsessed, that I was grieving, that it was stress. But tonight, I'm here because I have to know. It's 12:15 a.m. The pendulum is still. I'm sitting in the same old leather chair. In front of me, the grandfather clock waits. The box from the basement is open. I've lined up all the engraved clocks on the table. 12:16 a.m. My hands are shaking. I don't know if I've lost my mind Or my grandfather left behind something that shouldn't have been touched. Something that doesn't understand time like we do. 12:17. Gong. 1, 2, 3. As the chimes ring out, I see the clock's hand spinning fast, violently, like they're trying to stop something or awaken it. I don't know what will happen when the 17th chime sounds, but I do know one thing. Tomorrow, I no longer exist.